According to anal health expert Dr. Evan Goldstein,
oh yeah,
he loves
butts.
He loves butts. In fact, he loves butts so much that he wrote a book called Butt Seriously, the definitive guide to anal health, pleasure, and everything in between. Get it? Everything in between.
That's a great cat tag.
Oh, yeah! Very good. Okay, very good.
Good morning and welcome to episode 1471 of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, May 29th, 2024. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Everything you need to know in 40-ish minutes or less. But if you need more, go to patreon.com/hardfactor for up to three weekly bonus podcasts. Today, Wes has a new cure for constipation to tell us about.
Yeah, I think some of you are really going to like this cure.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it sucks to be constipated.
Yeah, well, you're going to love how to get unconstipated.
Really enjoyable too. Fantastic. Mark's got the next Titan submersible. They're doing it again for some reason, and some upset old people to tell us about.
It's all olds in this segment. Olds, playing the oldies.
Yeah. Well, they still control 95% of the wealth, so they got
Everyone in this story is rich.
They got some dough to play with, those olds. Pat's got the latest on Kylie Kelce getting into it at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, America's sweetheart showed some class in the land of trash, my home state, Nueva Jersey. So,
Boy, if that's New Jersey, I wouldn't like to see old Jersey.
No,
that
you
place
wouldn't.
is a dump.
It's a dump,
Yeah, that's an upgrade.
melting pot.
Yeah.
So
Where is Old Jersey? Is that in England or France?
Bottom
or
of the
something?
sea. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually funny
and
you say that, Mark. America's first destination vacation location was in New Jersey and is currently at the bottom of the sea.
The Boardwalk Empire?
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City?
No. Atlantic City will be at the bottom of the sea in the next 9 years, Will. But no, this is a different place.
9 years.
I forget the name of it, but it was
Yeah.
it was the hot spot if you had some
there's-
dough
If-
in the
for-
1800s. And
Sorry. Yeah.
it's the bottom of the sea.
To Wes and people that didn't know, Atlantic City's so going to the bottom of the ocean that they're shutting down all the casinos. One, because people aren't going there, but they're also putting up signs at local restaurants saying, "We are closing forever on such." I think this year, a lot of them are closing in 2024 because the water's just going to be, taking over where.
Yeah, that was a
places are.
super weird.
Yeah.
Set up and down
Discussion.
the East Coast, or just Atlantic City?
No, just Atlantic City, and it's a weird discussion when you talk to people in Atlantic City about it
It's
because they're like,
bizarre.
"Well, the ocean has been taking us out for 50 years, and they say the next year is going to be the one that finally puts us at the bottom."
Yeah,
Then
they
you're
put
just-
a date
it's a
on it.
cleansing,
Yeah.
A lot
right,
of
and
people
you're just
don't
like,
know
"Well,
that.
so you've been living in fear of the ocean for 5 decades." And this is now the year. All right, it's a weird conversation to have with everybody in Atlantic City.
Do you guys want the
Yeah.
juice?
Juices.
The ACJ?
I mean, I heard it from a lot of drunk people in Atlantic City last
Give
night.
it
I
to
want to
us
know why
give it to
Atlantic
us,
City
local
and nowhere
boy.
else.
Tell us, local boy.
I'll give it to you locally. I was in Atlantic City 2 summers ago and had a conversation with a promoter who booked a show there that I was doing. And he said, "Yeah, I just bought a house here." And I said, "That was a bad idea." And then he was like, "Maybe you're right." But no, so Atlantic City has been a research town. Tons of universities and also just scientific research organizations have been resetting the shoreline there for decades because it's like a perfect example of how a city erodes and is going to be underwater. And they're pulling back from that. They're like, "Hey, we got it. We got all the data we need." So sayonara.
Now they're
9
done
years.
saving you.
9 years.
Pulling the
Google's
plug
telling
on
me
Atlantic City.
Google's telling me that Atlantic City is now operating at 100% capacity with the most restrictions lifted. I don't know what they're talking about there, but like we literally went to like the oldest Irish pub in Atlantic City, and they had like signs everywhere being like permanently closing on the state. Not
Yeah,
because
but I'm telling you, it was
not
a
because we
weird
ran out of
vibe.
money, but because the town's going to be underwater.
Right, but it's almost like a marketing gimmick. They're telling you like this is your last chance
Maybe
to
it's-
ever
yeah.
give me a tip.
right. It's like the Rolling Stones doing one last.
It's weird.
tour.
I mean, that would be the biggest news in the last 100 years if Atlantic City was underwater in 9 years.
They all claim that it's happening this year, Wes. They claim.
Wes, what do you know about the
And they've
slow
been claiming it happens this year
creeping
for like 5 years.
I don't think it's going to happen in 9 years. I don't think I'm going to see the towers underwater in 9 years, Pat. That's what I think.
That's literally why we're having problems with global warming. That attitude right there.
Well,
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. Yeah, I'll see it when I believe it.
I will.
It's a strange situation.
I also think it's
You got-
weird, Wes. I don't know why they picked a certain date and why. Like,
You got to go to Atlantic City
Yeah.
to check it out. Talk to the locals.
Yeah.
Get their take on it. It's strange. Okay, no matter
bizarre.
like you got to hear them talk about it. It is a little weird. All right, I've got more explosive
9
technology.
years.
Did they say
9
that?
years from
did
today?
they say that 20 years ago?
yeah, I
They
think
did,
they
Wes.
did, but they didn't have signs for like. I don't know why they picked a date like to close
Wes,
the business.
they didn't have the scientists were resetting the shoreline.
They were
back
setting the date. They were setting the date, which is now May 28th.
What the fuck
If
is
it's
resetting the shoreline even mean?
2034, 2033.
They were building
Actively-
dunes.
Actively
They were putting sand on.
jetties, building barrier walls, actively
Wes.
repelling the ocean.
Wes, it's just a wall of syringes that they.
Hey,
Wes, you're gonna
Will,
be
you want to go to
eating-
Atlantic City in 15 years with me?
And I'll go. Yes, let's schedule. Put it on the calendar.
your
Now.
wetsuit.
You can buy a ticket for 2033, and so we could go see the towers underwater. I'll
I
take
mean,
that
that'll
trip
be a
with you.
sight to
I'm
see all
not,
that underwater.
I'll go with you. I'm not
like
promoting.
Atlantis,
I'm
yeah.
not promoting this. I don't want
Okay,
it to
Mark,
happen.
you can
I'm
come
just- I'm
too.
just saying what
Pat,
I
you can
saw.
even come too, and
Yeah.
you know,
Everybody can join.
Yeah.
I've been.
Be a
A lot
everyone
of
in the
times.
whole world can be there in 15
Yeah,
years.
but you
I
haven't
think.
been when it's underwater, Pat, and it's going to be underwater in 9 years. So we
Right,
got
but
go
I've been
back.
trying to just drink as much AC in as I can because I know what's
No.
coming.
You go when it's Atlantis.
Bring
That's
your
it's like an
snorkels.
upgrade.
Yeah, that's a story.
You don't even need a shark tank. They'll be swimming in
Don't
front
you
of
remember you weren't invited, Wes, so you didn't get to read those signs.
Yeah,
It'll be
that's true.
completely
That's right.
uninhabitable
They
That's why I don't
knew
know-
that you were.
know
They knew you
better.
were going to make a stink about this Atlantic
by
City.
2100.
So okay, and so to close out the show, I've got more explosive technology disrupting absolutely everything. Not just the Titan submersible, lots of tech today. So
Okay.
get ready.
Go.
All right, well, let's get into something that probably a lot of people that go to Atlantic City suffer from: constipation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You eat that.
Or,
you eat that.
or the opposite, or wet diarrhea.
Yeah, one or the other.
You go between the two, right? You eat too much Italian food and get constipated, then you get drunk as fuck and
Yeah.
have diarrhea.
Not
Well,
a lot
yeah,
of logs there. Yeah.
Yeah, dehydration, bad food, that can all lead to constipation. And when was the last time you guys were, as they say, compacted?
It's been a while, luckily.
Earlier this year,
That's a fear of mine. I hate it.
I get it sometimes.
It's tough. It's tough.
Big cheese guy. Cheese will do
private.
it to you. You know,
It does. You do drastic things in private when you're compacted.
Sounds like Pat's got it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt, you little compacted up there. Little
I've been
stress.
compacted in, God, 5, 6, 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Good for
great.
you.
Oh, that's
good
good.
for you. Yeah, Pat
I'll-
eats his
I'll-
fiber and drinks his water.
I'll get it like once a month just because
My
I love
Adderall.
Parmesan cheese. You know, and I'll just.
Well, see,
go
I'm not
town.
talking like maybe I can't poop right now. I'm talking like the 3-day, 4-day compacted. Is that?
Yeah. That was.
Yeah, okay.
I've had a 3-dayer
Yeah.
in the last like month where
Where you
you're
gotta
like
get
a
it.
little
Okay.
bit concerned. You're like,
Where you
wow,
get a
I
little
should
worried,
stop
yeah.
eating cheese. I
Kebab
should stop
skewer.
eating cheese.
Break it up.
Yeah.
No, I've never gotten that.
Live comment from Nick Miller. Fiber gummies. He says he's saying it plugged him up real good. I don't know what that means because when I take the fiber gummies, it loosens me up, and I still take them.
He's saying if you have Rhea, that's a great point. My wife had the fiber gummies, in fact, from her last pregnancy,
Firms it
still
up.
in the still in the pantry. That's what cleared me out last time I got stopped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I told you guys I was compacted not too long ago, and then I got scared, so I was.
You wouldn't shut up
shoving-
about it.
I was shoving suppositories in my ass, like
right.
like I was in an EDM concert, you know. You know, it's weird when you put a suppository in your ass because the butt naturally. Here's a diagram for you guys to see. So you got to get it past the anal canal, otherwise you got to get it all the way into the rectum.
BAC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the ass normally wants to push it out. It's a struggle if you try to get one of those things to stay up in the rectum. you got to really work at it.
You got to trick the ass.
Yeah, yeah.
You do got to work at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to hold its nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Got to put it. You got to wrap it in some other type of food or something. You got to trick it.
Yeah, you really got to work. You got to really work the butthole out to get in there.
You got to talk to it a little bit. You got to tell it, stay in there.
It's like giving a dog a
loosen it
pill.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then once it's in the rectum, it works its magic. Now, of course, there are ways to prevent this type of horrific predicament. One is, of course, something that most of us aren't going to do. That's diet. Leafy greens, fiber, drink water. Healthy stuff. Yeah.
Pass.
Let's move on from that one.
What's the next
Yep. Other ones you can also take like everyday stool softeners, laxatives, Metamucil, but that's no fun either, right? But I have really good news for
Gummies are actually super easy though.
Yeah, but so maybe you'll forget. But this is something you're never going to forget to do if you're suffering with chronic constipation. According to anal health expert, this guy, Dr. Evan Goldstein, he loves
butts.
He loves butts. In fact, he loves butts so much that he wrote a book called Butt Seriously, the definitive guide to anal health, pleasure, and everything in between. Get it? Everything in between.
That's a great cat tag.
How much of it is anal health and how much of it is anal pleasure?
Well, that's the beauty of this, Pat, is that it all mixes together into one glorious health regimen. So what Dr. Goldstein says is the key to relieving your constipation and preventing in the future is to fuck yourself in the ass using toys as much as you can.
Vigorous anal sex.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I like it.
So pleasure with maintenance. There's no better combination in the world, right? Pleasure, maintenance.
Honey, you constipated again?
Yeah.
Give me
You
the Hot
sure you're not
Wheels.
constipated?
I've got the cure.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wrecked that Hot Wheels in my garage.
He pretty much recommends the same tools that you use for pleasure to stretch the rectum to avoid constipation. So, even if you're solo and you don't have a partner, he wants you to start jamming, dildos, anal beads, stuff like that to stretch out the rectum in your ass, and that will alleviate your constipation for years to come.
There you go. You know what? It's a big trend, I feel like, among the Gen Z guys getting their asshole eaten. They're going to be real into this.
Yeah.
I've never seen more men getting their butt eaten porn than when Gen Z came onto the porn scene. Like it's been nonstop since they got in there. And so, I think they're really going to love this.
Hey, honey, I got you a snack. It's just cubes of cheese. I already ate. Just feeding her cheese.
He says that it's the full relaxation that inserting things in your ass and stretching your rectum out is what you need. Achieving full relaxation is the key, as he says.
Yeah, he's right. He's probably right. Yeah.
Seem a little stressed.
By the way,
if
you can see,
shoulders.
you can see the top of the book. There's this guy, Dan Savage, who says, I can't recommend this book highly enough. So he just goes around recommending the book to everyone.
Noted gay man
Tiller.
and sexual health speaker Dan Savage.
Yeah.
True.
Deeply informed, user-friendly advice is the best thing to happen to anal sex since lube was invented, he says.
This
Wes,
guy
looks
knows
like-
butts. The New York Times.
Yeah.
Looks like Tiller live comment found you your first throne gift. He says, "Fine, surprise throne gift coming your way, buddy." So
Thanks, Tiller. I mean,
That's awesome.
I'm not above it. So the tools.
you're gonna love it. The pleasure.
Yeah.
I mean,
pleasure and maintenance. It's perfect. So he makes sure to tell you that the tools that you should seek out, the tools, as he says, are made of smooth medical grade silicone and must be washed with warm water and gentle soap and dried thoroughly. And
Dildos.
yeah.
Does this
I don't
guy
know.
sell a product as well? I'm guessing.
I mean, probably. He's probably got Dr. Goldstein's pleasure rod or something like that. I don't know.
yeah, the butt
The
dildo.
deconstipator.
The soft
butt
tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The silicone tongue.
Yeah.
Should you wash it for an hour or 2 hours, Dr. Goldstein? He added that relaxation also encourages deep breathing, and all these factors together are why using toys and dilators can frequently elicit a bowel movement. So go figure, you shove something up your ass enough, you're going to shit.
This guy and every porn star ever has been preaching this.
Yeah. So ditch the fiber, ditch the laxatives, go get yourself a nice sex toy, start shoving that thing in your ass, and you will never be constipated again. You're welcome.
Or just butt sex, You can do it the old-fashioned way, too. You don't even have to bring in a dildo for this one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just butt sex. So there you go.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's your discretion whether you want to use a toy or not for this method.
I ran so excitedly into butt sex and then just slinked backwards. And said,
Oh, it's the worst, isn't it?
Well,
Nope.
the thing about
Oh, the first time you got a little dirt on the sword.
well, in this situation, it sounds
It's the worst.
in this situation it sounds like you're gonna right.
Oh,
Like if
freckle.
you're
Oh yeah, you're gonna
should have that mole checked out.
you're gonna break it up.
this is more dangerous than mining. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets.
You gotta get out quick.
Yeah. But once you get the hang of it, it's no problem. Anyway,
It's a game for experience for sure.
yeah. You'll learn to love it. And guys, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp, right? We all carry around different stressors, big and small. Maybe you're constipated. Maybe that's stressing you out.
Yeah.
Well, we keep them bottled up, don't we? It can start to affect us negatively. Therapy is a safe space to get all things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. Whether you're, getting sober, dealing with a breakup, divorce, anything that's really bothering you in your life, you need to talk to someone about it because I guarantee you'll feel a lot better. You don't have to carry around that weight. You'll start to live better. You'll start to be happier, and you can be your better self with BetterHelp, right? If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime at no additional charge. So get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/hardfactor today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hardfactor. Get 10% off your first month. I highly recommend everyone give it a try if you are dealing with anything at all.
I did it today.
There you go.
Beautiful. Eric keeps sending us different actual products from the
Dr.
doctor, the
Goldstein
private.
sells them.
Dr. Goldstein has a whole line of products.
Oh,
Oh,
why
does
is he
he?
putting in a promo? What's his promo code he's
The
putting in
future method glass anal. No, we're not doing that. But the
set
future
for
method
seven-
glass anal dilator set, $70.
That
free
sounds
shipping.
like a deal.
He's
Promo
got the
code producer
Uberlube,
Eric?
Uberlube bottle for $20. He's Eric be Googling over there. So it appears humans have not learned their lesson. More importantly, extremely wealthy humans. They can't stay away from this one thing. What do you guys think I'm talking about?
Sex.
Underage women.
Just because we just said.
No, it's not young
Screwing the
trim.
little guy.
Good guess. It's not young trim. I'm of course talking about the Titanic.
Yeah,
Ultra rich
true.
people fucking love the Titanic for some reason.
Cannot stay away.
They do.
Can't
I think there's
stop
like a
them.
musical out right now. I couldn't believe that. The Titanic, the musical. Come on, man.
Yeah, tickets are
Maybe-
expensive.
It's we're kind of living like a second roaring 20s ish kind of thing with the wealth gap. Maybe they have like a weird like fantasy fetish of being so rich that they just all like die.
Yeah, it's like
on the
Mecca to
Titanic.
them. Well,
Right.
It's like
Is it-
like a holy
The
grail.
last time we were all this rich, we did the Titanic. So when are we going to do it again?
They all want to get as close as possible to the Titanic.
But isn't it kind of reverse in that respect where it's kind of like a little bit morose if you're a rich person because you want to go look at dead rich people that like their money couldn't save them. At the
No,
bottom
but they
of the
did it
ocean.
right. They
pay your
spent their money
respects to the
so extravagantly that they ended up in the middle of the Atlantic
Right.
Ocean.
They drowned so we can swim. Kind of.
Exactly. So now it's Ohio billionaire, real estate tycoon Larry Connor. He's going to be the newest rich guy to die over his fetish of the Titanic.
Okay.
This guy. He's a big fan of deep sea diving in general, and he wants to prove that the private deep sea submarine industry is safer than people think after the OceanGate debacle. Remember?
The Titan submersible, yeah.
Titan. Yeah. He's sick of people making fun of deep sea private submarine dives just because one imploded on the way to the Titanic, killing several million and billionaires on the
It's
OceanGate.
also piloted with a GameCube controller. So,
Yeah.
I mean, has he got something a little more impressive
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
I think it was PlayStation 2.
Xbox.
PlayStation 2.
Something.
I think this guy wants to.
It was third party.
It
wasn't
was a third party.
It wasn't the controller, actually, though.
Mad Cats.
It was just everything else
It
about
was
it.
a, it was a mad cat.
Knock
No,
off.
Mom, this controller's like $30 less.
Looks like the turbo's stuck again.
It's got the turbo button that just no game is programmed for.
It only worked well for Street Fighter when you
Street
were like
Fighter. It was
Chun-Li
great
or-
for Street Fighter.
You could just spam the turbo button. Yeah, no, he does have something better. Well, he's taking a $20 million sub down to the Titanic at that 12,400 foot depth. This time it's Triton Submarines co-founder Patrick Leahy that's going to be working with him because the other guy's dead. And
Triton. They added an extra R. That's more badass than the Titan. Triton.
The Triton. Leahy's sub, this $20 million sub he built, is called the Triton 4000/2 Abyssal Explorer.
Okay.
So they're going to die in that thing.
How many dead people can that thing hold?
Well, it's just going to be the two. It's just going to be the billionaire and the guy who built it. Here's a quote from the billionaire. He said, Patrick has been thinking about designing this for over a decade, but we didn't have the materials and technology. You could not have built this sub 5 years ago, and you shouldn't have built it now. And according to Leahy, pretty much immediately after the last submarine blew up in the water, this billionaire called him, Connor, and he said, you need to build a better sub, and we need to get down there to that sunken, haunted ship. Yeah, so they're going. The duo said they want to prove that the trek can be done without disaster to get more millionaire and billionaires down there to die horrible deaths.
Who does he want?
Good for them, you know?
Yeah, they want to kill each other.
Love the spending money game.
And my real estate tycoon rival will be the first one down.
I was wondering if this was related to. Have you guys noticed this at sporting events? Like not the main advertising, like a baseball game, not the advertising, the green screen behind the batter, but on the like the first base line or the third base line, buildsubmarines.com. Have you seen that?
No.
I kept wondering what it was. No, dude. I mean, it's just ill-timed. It's the U.S. Navy. I guess is trying to build better submarines.
Right,
so
right.
You can go to buildsubmarines.com and I guess kind of subcontract for the Navy.
Are they worried about the Chinese laser submarine? Sounds like,
dude. Apparently, because this is like a huge push by the Navy to build better. That's a submarine, not a submersible. I want to make that clear, Mark.
Big push for submarines. There was the $250 million one that we talked about, the luxury one. You can.
What's up? Why are subs so hot right now?
Well, that combines the two things billionaires really like: young, trim, and the Titanic.
Yeah.
Because
the Migaloo is like a legit sub. Like you can get that built, and you can definitely go to the fucking Titanic.
You can
go wherever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can have a party at the Titanic.
But the Titanic and these little submarines aren't the only things scary in the ocean. The original summer blockbuster, Jaws, ever heard of it, has a pretty scary thing in the ocean. A giant fucking shark, right?
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, they did a recent watch party for Jaws with one of the stars of Jaws, one Richard Dreyfuss, this past Saturday night at the Cabot in Beverly, Massachusetts.
No, Spielberg, sorry.
Or he adapted it. Sister fucker Dreyfuss?
Yeah, and the event was dubbed An Evening with Richard Dreyfuss plus Jaws screening. And the event really got scary after the film ended, and the event planner handed a microphone to Dreyfuss to address the crowd in a dress. Yeah, where's this picture of Dreyfuss? Yeah, he's up there in a dress. Dreyfuss was supposed to answer questions about Jaws, I think.
But he's swinging a golf club in that dress. That's crazy.
But he went a little off script and started ranting about how gays and transgenders are ruining society and how Hollywood's way too inclusive. I agree, the sharks are pretty scary, but no one's really talking about the biggest dangers in our oceans that we can't see until it's too late. Chicks with dicks.
Yeah. You know who else eats children? Transgenders.
Yeah, our oceans are full of secret unannounced dicks waiting to bump into our calves.
Yeah. It's a weird phenomenon going. We were talking to the text thread a little earlier about it. Like older progressives, older Democrats are having this weird reaction to the younger people in their own party. And it is they're getting pretty bitter.
They're getting dementia and becoming their fathers.
Yeah. They're getting pretty bitter about like the direction of the party is upsetting them so much. Like Dreyfuss, Bill Maher, all these folks, they're all going the same direction. They all make the same comments.
Yeah, Dreyfuss is up there on stage in a dress to show how too many men are wearing dresses these days. You get it,
right? Yeah, no, that's his like.
You
get
it?
Like, yeah, that's his. Like, there's a lot of people in this like Bill Maher mindset.
This looks ridiculous.
It's Dreyfuss.
Couldn't even go all the way either.
He
wore pants and a dress.
No, he was disgusted with himself. Mr. Holland gave his opus, and he kept asking, "What about boob?" Apparently, hundreds of people walked out during his rant. It doesn't take a stakeout or another stakeout to realize there are too many fags in the church. Oh, wait, that wasn't Dreyfuss. That was what Pope Francis said in a behind-closed-doors meeting a few days ago. In even more offensive terms than I just used, he used the old Roman slang word for really using the F word as maliciously as possible to a room full of 250 bishops saying we need to get these cock lovers out of our seminaries.
Oh.
Yeah.
He thinks that's the problem, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
He thinks it's just
it's
a straight gay
thing,
one,
man. Like
right?
he was all about inclusion. He was
Not
like
the
the
ones
first
that
pope
want
to
to
be all
fuck
about
children.
it. And
Yeah,
then
he made a
now,
mistake though. He made a mistake.
now he's saying there's
Made a mistake.
He apologized profusely on Tuesday, and some are saying maybe since Italian's not his first language, he was an Italian immigrant, and he lived in Argentina and grew up with Spanish as his first language, and maybe he didn't know how hard a translation the term he used was. Maybe he thought it was like a more friendly way of saying homosexual, or maybe that might be it. That might be it.
Nah,
Maybe
you
hear me
always,
out.
you always learn the cuss words first. The bad
Maybe
ones
he's
first.
87 and the friggin' Pope.
Yeah, maybe he is who we thought he was.
Yeah, maybe he's an 87-year-old Pope. Here he is pictured after being asked about gay marriage.
I don't. Yeah, we don't want these queenie types. We want types that you can't tell. Chameleons, so to speak. Ones that you don't even see coming. That's
Yeah.
what we want.
Will's out. Will's gone. I think. I guess one of the bishops snitched on him because it was behind closed doors, and they were like, "The Pope he used offensive language, very offensive." So he apologized.
Well,
Anyways.
that's not shocking.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Richard Dreyfuss and the Pope were on one this weekend.
Dreyfuss, man. Well, yeah, conservative politics are coming for you. It's just a matter of when. Because they say when you're young, you're liberal. When you're old, you're conservative. And he's old.
They were all old in that story.
That's right, guys. All right, real quick. I like to go to the Jersey Shore in the summers. I don't know if I'm going to make it this year, but I've been most years of my life. We like to go to Sea Isle City or Atlantic City or Asbury Park or Oakhurst, Ocean Township, where I grew up. These are all great Jersey Shore towns. Now, there's a huge difference in Jersey Shore towns, right? Like I grew up in Central Jersey, Asbury Park area. Different vibe than when you go south and you get closer to Philadelphia. Equal levels of trash, okay? But Philly is a different type of trash. Wes, that's Wildwood. If you're putting down what I'm picking up.
Wildwood is trash, but it's fantastic too.
The closer you get to Pennsylvania, the worse it gets. And America's sweetheart, Kylie Kelce, you know her. She played field hockey in college and is married to Jason Kelce. And there's like 1,000 different accounts that post clips from the New Heights podcast, which, by the way, is not our podcast because the #1 sports podcast in the country, in our opinion, is Part of My Take, and it has been for the last 6 years. And these sons of bitches come in and just take over because they're superstars, and we're just supposed to accept it because.
Well, and I got a real gripe with them. These glasses I'm wearing right now, I wore these first. Jason Kelce is constantly podcasting in these glasses.
When are they going to fall off? That's what I want to know.
I
When
would
are they
just
going to fall off?
I would just like to thank Jason Kelce for so many good years.
Why would you order my
So many
same
good-
exact
so many good
Amazon
years.
sunglasses, Jason?
Well, yeah, he retired, as Mark's getting at.
Yeah.
And he's on vacation. It's May. He's in Margate City, baby, down there by Sea Isle on the Jersey Shore. And him and Kylie went to Steve and Cookie's restaurant, an oyster bar, over Memorial Day weekend. And I guess they were leaving, and they were in traffic, and a hammered drunk lady was in the middle of the street trying to take a picture of them. And look, if you go to the Jersey Shore, you don't expect this kind of behavior. Sure, Taylor Swift went to Jack Antonoff's wedding at a Jersey Shore city and absolutely ruined the wedding because she was there. But that's Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah, she shut the town down. No one could
You
get in
expect
and out. Yeah.
a modicum of respect even from the Phillies. And Kylie don't play that. Here's the video, guys.
What?
Okay, so what you heard is Kylie said, the woman says, I don't give a fuck who you are. You'll never be allowed in this town again. Like she owns the town. And Kylie says, I can smell the alcohol in your breath. You're embarrassing yourself.
Who was saying that you'll never be allowed in this town again? Kylie or the other girl?
No, the
the
hammered
girl.
woman that was trying to get a picture and was kind of like in the
You'll
middle of
never
the
be
street.
allowed here again because you won't take a selfie with me and my dad.
Exactly.
Wait, she was a
Yeah, that's
fan and then turned against her?
Was she a
Yes.
fan? Who's
That
a
looks like her
fan?
father with right there with the golf shirt.
There's Jason.
He looks like he's
kinda-
late for a Richard Dreyfuss event.
He's taking a back
Oh
seat.
yeah.
Look at the height difference here. Kylie Kelce.
I know, she's huge.
Collegiate athlete. Okay, she's dressed out. She's got like a slit dress, long dress, one leg out, and then this hammered Philly beachgoer is all up in her face because she wouldn't take a
Their
photo.
kids
But
are gonna
apparently,
be enormous, huh?
she was accosting them. So, thoughts, guys?
I mean, just don't. Good for her for telling the drunk chick to fuck off. I mean, if you're with your family, like it's like you should be. If you're a public personality, you should definitely talk to fans of your work whenever you get the opportunity to. It's an awesome experience. But if you're with your family and somebody's hammered and they're fucking harassing you, yeah, tell them to fuck off.
Yeah, I think that the woman who was saying you're never allowed in this town again sucks, Pat. That's my thoughts.
Big time. See, Will, I feel like it's different. Like when a Hard Factor fan comes up to us, that's someone recognizing our work because we're not that famous, right? We're barely even hardly recognizable.
Yeah, but still, when people come up to Jason Kelce, it's because they're Eagles fans. They love him. They want to thank him for everything he's done. I mean, it's like it's nice. It's if you're a public personality, it's good to take those moments to spend a little time with the people who supported you all this time. But if you're with your family, it's okay to tell a drunk person to fuck off.
There's a level of fame that supersedes fandom. That's the problem. So it's like everyone's got an Instagram account. Everyone wants to take a photo.
I don't think it does. I think that there are famous people that think that, but I don't think it does personally. I think as a human, you should be a good human and take the time to thank the people who supported you along the way.
Yeah, I'd like to see the 30 seconds before that lady just lost it. And
How nice she asked. That's what I want to know.
Exactly.
You think she asked nicely?
Probably not nicely.
I want to know.
Considering the fallout,
This is the best video tag I've ever seen in my life from some podcast, some random podcast. Someone got this video and then immediately watermarked it, and then every news article just picked this one clip up. So big ups to the WTWWWW podcast. Huge press for them.
Huge day for them. That's fantastic. Fantastic work. All right. Anything else on Kylie Kelce?
No. I mean, I thought you guys would enjoy it a little bit more. That's okay.
No,
I enjoyed it.
I thought Kylie was going to be out of pocket, but I don't think she was.
No,
she's
wasn't.
a class act, America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I mean, good for her. As much as I hate the Eagles, it's hard to hate Jason and Kylie Kelce.
Yeah.
Played field hockey in college, so.
Yeah, she was the field. You see how big she is?
They met on a dating app, and she didn't even know he was on the Eagles. So tell the story, Kylie.
True love.
Tell the story.
Wow, you sound bitter. Jason Kelce's a hero.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to hate on him just because
She wanted a
he
picture
was
with
an awesome
Kylie
player.
or Jason.
She just wanted a picture of them. She was apparently
them
they were in
with her
traffic,
dad.
and she was like rolling up on them in the middle of the street taking pics, and she was like,
You won't
wait
take
a
a
minute.
picture with me.
191st draft pick, Not much was expected out of Jason Kelce, and he gave us everything. So
They should
delivered a
have
lot.
just taken the picture.
yeah.
And
He delivered
not
a
only
lot
did
for
he
the
have
Birds.
millions of dollars, potential Hall of Fame career, Super Bowl rings, but he
I
also
would
needed.
remove the potential out of that.
But he also
Hall of
needed
Fame.
to
He's a Hall of
take
Fame,
over the
for sure.
podcasting game and go to the top. So
Well, he's
He
a
doesn't do
Hall of
anything
Fame-
half-assed. So
He's a Hall of Fame football player. Did you expect his podcast to not do well? I mean,
yeah.
I just leave a little bit for the other guys.
yeah. I mean, but our boys are still way funnier than them. They're just Hall of Fame.
I just really
football
get
players.
off at like an airport saying my buddy's got the #1 sports podcast in the world, and for the last year that hasn't been exactly true. So I don't like it. So
Right. Don't say it anymore because when they look it up, it's
I don't want to
new
say that my
heights.
buddy's got the #2 sports
Like,
podcast.
don't say that
in the world.
anymore. Yeah, because
Yeah, I'm gonna stop saying that too.
for quite a while. I never have said that, but yeah, don't say it anymore. Speaking of hate, De Niro's Trump trial press event, there was tons of hate, spewing all ways. There's like viral clips of De Niro arguing with people in MAGA hats, but it got our good buddy, 3-year Letterman over on Twitter, a chance to, holy shit, where did all the pictures go? A chance to, to get Joe Pesci trending because he tweeted,
Nice.
3-year Letterman, Joe Pesci was great in Donnie Brasco, but that does not give him the right to violate Donald Trump's HIPAA and Fifth Amendment rights by judging him guilty, Latin for not innocent, which he did right here. He must be arrested. And then that got Joe Pesci trending on Twitter
yeah.
because people really thought that it was Joe Pesci, which is awesome. So way to go, 3-year Letterman.
And that's so smart because half the comments are like, Joe Pesci, that's not Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci's not in Donnie Brasco. That's not Joe Pesci. That's Don't you know who Robert De Niro's?
Taking advantage of the all-time hate levels. Great thinking. 3-year Letterman. Okay.
That's what our friend number 2 sports podcaster PFT did for a living.
Right. That's how he got to number 2.
That's how he got to number 2. That type of humor right there.
Maybe 3-year Letterman's gonna start up a sports podcast and get all the way to number 2 one day. Number 1 and then a pro comes in and right. Anyways, on to the more explosive tech than the Titan submersible. Hard to keep up with technology these days, but sometimes even the newest devices are having the same struggles as the old ones. Take, for example, the second F-35 crash in the last year. It exploded on takeoff. Do you guys see the video of this shit?
No, that doesn't look good in the aftermath.
No, they're having to hose it down. Big explosion. This time it was at the Albuquerque International Airport in New Mexico. The pilot did manage to eject, just like the last couple times. Well, just like the last time this happened in September. So hopefully they're okay. However, it is the second F-35 malfunction just after takeoff in the U.S., over the USA, over our states, our territory, since September 2023, when another F-35 crashed into the woods over Randolph White's house in Williamsburg County, South Carolina. We'll never forget this rendition. He describes what it sounds like when it happens close to your house. Yep. That is what an F-35 crash is like. If it happens near your house, it's a big deal. Okay.
Take a shave.
Take it from Randolph White. It's a scary thing. Okay. And so this is also after another F-35 also crashed during a vertical landing display at an air show in Dallas in December 2022. So 3 F-35 crashes in about a year and a half. Maybe not just Boeing.
Lockheed Martin.
Right. Maybe not just Boeing dealing with the quality issues these days, as Mark points out. Lockheed has had the sole source F-35 contract for its entirety. Maybe just like Jet Zero in the commercial airspace, it's time to give some new companies a shot after sole sourcing all these aviation contracts since about World War II. Just a thought for some actual disruptive technology to take.
These companies aren't hungry enough to produce good planes because they got the contracts locked up.
Yeah, for 6 decades now and counting. Yeah, so not just in the skies, though. Check out the latest video of a Tesla Cybertruck trying to cross a shallow creek. Okay, I'll turn the volume down here.
It's the worst enemy to a Cybertruck is a tiny body of water.
A small hill, with a little creek. And so it just can't get over the bank there.
What was
Super
this guy
embarrassing.
thinking?
Now, Mark, it goes on. This happens for a full minute. This Tesla truck driver reverses and forwards trying to ford a tiny creek. There's an area with no water about 30 yards away. You can see where the rocks just cross the creek. So all he had to do was drive over to the rocks. Would have been fine. But you see the dedication of a Cybertruck driver. They will show you how bad the vehicle design is at any cost, incling destroying their own Cybertruck.
Trying to get out of a baby pool.
Yeah.
It's pretty embarrassing. Yeah, why doesn't he just drive down to the rocks down there?
He's a moron, Mark.
Dude, I feel that way about everyone I see in a Cybertruck. I mean, and they all have smiles on their faces, which is good. They look like they're having a good time.
Oh, this gives us an opportunity, Pat. We got a little bit of flack for making fun of how small the Broncos are. It's the Broncos Sport, so sorry. The Broncos Sport is embarrassingly small.
Excuse us.
The regular Broncos are very manly. So
the Sport and the electric
full-size
were flops. Were flops, but the full-size Bronco is pretty nice. Yeah. Tesla Cybertruck, though, it's kind of flopping, just like the Bronco Sport and the E version. To be fair to these vehicles, though, the F-35 and the Tesla Cybertruck, the videos of off-road Cybertrucks that are souped up are fucking incredible. Same thing with F-35s. There are amazing, capabilities on these machines. It's a lot of times.
Is that
probably
Jeremy Renner's Cybertruck? Look at that thing.
That's Heavy D Sparks. If you don't follow that, he mods a bunch of Cybertrucks and shit.
Nephew,
it's amazing. But yeah, so I mean, a lot of times it's probably like user error. You know what I mean? Just like Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, the guy. It was user error that put that guy in that creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could have literally driven 30 yards over and forded the river, but I mean, he is a moron. And finally, checking in on AI, Google's AI search feature recently suggested adding non-toxic glue to pizza. So this is Google search, cheese not sticking to pizza. And then the AI overview says cheese can slide off pizza for a number of reasons, including too much sauce, too much cheese, or thickened sauce. Here's some things you can try. First suggestion, mix in sauce. Mixing cheese into the sauce helps to add moisture, and it helps the sauce, stay thick. You can also add about 1/8 of cup of non-toxic glue to the sauce to give it more thickness.
That'll do it.
So the AI suggested adding non-toxic glue to your pizza sauce to make the cheese stick better. Internet sleuths then did the research, discovered that the AI pulled this suggestion from an 11-year-old Reddit post by a user named Fucksmith. And here's his original post.
That's his profession.
I love Fucksmith, dude.
He's the best.
Comes from a long line of fucksmithings.
He's the best. He really is. And this is his post to Reddit 11 years ago. To get the cheese to stick, I recommend mixing about 1/8 of a cup of Elmer's glue in with the sauce. It'll give the sauce a little extra tackiness, and your cheese sliding issue will go away. It'll also add a little unique flavor. I like Elmer's school glue, but any glue will work as long as it's non-toxic. So
AI will pull from anywhere on the internet. Yeah.
it will be tricked by Fucksmith.
Dude, this is also, if you haven't seen this, you don't ask for it. You just Google, and then it just pops up there. Like, it's just there.
Well, all the companies
telling you
Microsoft,
to eat rocks.
Exactly. It's the race to incorporate AI into all the software products. So Microsoft, Google, all the big companies are doing it. You're going to see more AI search results. Sometimes they're going to be so stupid because early AI is not, there
It's a
yet.
predictive model. It's a large language model. It can't answer questions for you. It could.
It just pulls from the internet, Pat, and that was Fucksmiths came up. Fucksmith's still out there somewhere.
What's your medium?
Yeah.
Fucking. I Smith at it.
I mean, as silly as that sounds, it probably would have helped out that one company that went out of business because they were delivering pizzas. They were making pizzas on the go and showing up with no cheese because they were taking turns too fast.
Right. Yeah, it could help them.
Yeah.
It could help them. It could. But it was a troll by Fucksmith.
Here's your 3-minute delivery.
ChatGPT got trolled by Fucksmith, and
Yeah, I got him.
it just shows you where it's at. Anyways, that's the show. If you need more Hard Factor, listen to patreon.com/Hard Factor. Go over there to listen to up to 3 weekly bonus podcasts. We're about to record the Hive Hour tonight after this show. Most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.